not too many of the autistic individuals are successful. Now, that's a huge area of debate. Why? What else do we know about autism? They have problems, like I said, making friends. So, if you remove the lens of disability and start looking at it like a condition that you wish to improve, those are the things we don't know. And those are the things that matter. Because at Sashakt Empowering Lives, that is what we do. Hello, everybody. Rajni, yet another time from Sashakt Empowering Lives. So, guys, today's video, what we're going to do is a very, very interesting topic. All of you who are joining us again, most welcome. All of you who are joining us first time, here's a very quick introduction. My name is Rajni. I'm a special educator, now 18 years of work experience. A handsome 21-year-old, soon going to be 22 in May. Handsome young 22-year-old man who's on the autism spectrum, my son, and who's a working professional now in yet another city and living by himself, managing well. God is good, God is kind. Along with that, some 18,000 plus students worldwide, various YouTube channels, Instagram, a lot of digital presence, both India and abroad. And we continue to do this, the awareness sessions for parents on YouTube for the live every Tuesday, 7 to 7:30, and Instagram, again every Tuesday, 7 to 7:30. Connect with us should you wish to learn about autism, parenting techniques, and let the journey begin. Okay, very quickly, today's topic. Like I said, it's a very, very interesting topic today. Today, we're going to talk about autism, what we know versus what we don't know. Yeah. And this topic is so interesting that it can consume my entire life. Autism, what we know versus what we don't know. What we know, very clear. So handful, little bit, that I will start and within 1 or 2 or 3 minutes, we will end it. Yeah. So what we know, it's a neurodevelopmental, some people like to call it disability. I am not walking that walk. My entire life and my work is on trying to get rid of that word called disability, because autism is a lot more than that. Anyway, so neurodevelopmental condition or a challenge where a child has to go through a lot of stuff, like in terms of perceiving the world around him or her, which is hard. Yeah. So what we know, there's a definitive speech delay, the child speech and language delay, the child's ability to communicate takes a beating when not intervened. Yeah, when not intervened. The child's ability to form mental images, to understand a concept and then to put it one word behind the other and convey it in a way that even an outsider will understand, that takes a beating. Sometimes, not always, sometimes it is accompanied with epilepsy. That's a comorbid condition. And there can be many more comorbid conditions in different children. Sometimes it can be hearing loss. Sometimes it can be, those are just coincidences, situations that a child has two conditions. One is autism and one is any other thing. It's not a characteristic feature of autism that if there's autism, there's definitely going to be vision loss or hearing loss. No, those are comorbid conditions that can coexist in a human being. Like they can exist singularly in anybody. There can be somebody who's blind. Yeah. Similarly, there can be somebody who's autistic and who's blind. Both the situations in one person. All right. Next, their social skills take a beating when not intervened. They will not look at you, no eye contact, they will not interact, and they will probably not have a back and forth way of talking with fluency. This happens when they are, there's no proper autism intervention, right? These are the things that we know. Also, what more do we know? not too many of the autistic individuals are successful. Now, that's a huge area of debate. Why? Okay, some say because it's an inherent disability. Well, I am an absolute no to that philosophy. If there's anybody who has a disability when dealing with autism, it is the teachers, the parents, the caregivers. And what is our disability? Our disability is our lack of ability to believe that the child can do it and then experiment. And experiment hard and be willing to fail 20 places and then come up with a strategy that perfectly coincides with a specific kid. That's our disability, not the kid's disability. When they're taught in autism specific teaching techniques, they learn. Okay? And we've got thousands and thousands and thousands of examples proving what I'm saying. Alright, what else do we know about autism? They have problems, like I said, making friends. They have problem playing typically with toys. They don't have make-believe play. Yeah, so those are, they take a beating in studies, academics. Now that's more of a side effect of not being able to develop a mental picture or a mental imagery, because of which comprehension takes a beating, and so it becomes a negative spiral and keeps going down. These are the things that we know about autism. Now, what is it that we don't know about autism? That's a big one. Practically everything. Actually, we don't even know what we don't know. That is why I am so averse to the word disability. First thing that we don't know about autism is that every kid on the spectrum will learn. Every kid. Their speeds will be different, but they will all learn. Speeds will depend upon a lot of factors, like how supportive is the family environment. For example, an autistic child that is placed in a family where everybody is working towards the child's improvement, and it's a joint family, or there are lots of people and he's getting or she's getting therapies, they are getting proper OT intervention, their parents are trained on autism specific parenting techniques, vis-a-vis a child who's in an orphanage, yeah, and is autistic. Now, the learning speed will be very, very different in both the cases. So, it's like comparing apples and oranges. The situations, the back end is very different. The support system is very different. A child with autism in metros vis-a-vis a child with autism in the interiors of Orissa or Darbhanga or Bihar, Jharkhand, some place where access to basic health care, access to elementary education in the schools, yeah, is not available even to neurotypicals. A kid in that village where the parents have to pick up sticks, okay, and then sell them, those really poor people, and make a living, and they tie this kid when they go out because they don't know any other way. The speed of learning of that kid will be very different from the speed of learning of a kid being raised by well-educated parents who are working, who got money, who taking therapy, who doing exposure, and parent empowerment techniques. They've been trained. So it's all about how much exposure, how many comorbid conditions. A child who learns real fast but has so many episodes of epilepsy, and with every episode the neural pathways get broken because it's a short circuit in the brain, electrical short circuit in the brain, and the data gets lost in the brain and the child forgets. The speed of learning will be different, yeah, as opposed to a plain vanilla kind of a condition where there is no comorbidity and the child has only autism. Another thing that we don't know with autism is, and this is a big one, what is the speed of learning of a kid? And how do I assess that technically? How much is the active working memory? All of these measurements can be done. How? No need for any complicated machines with wires stuck to the child. No, 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 that's not what I'm saying. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. You give a worksheet. How many days does it take for your kid to go from being 100% prompted to being prompted, let's say, maybe once or maybe not at all? Yeah, so if it takes 7 days, how many questions at a stretch did the child attempt and then lost concentration and focus and got up and ran? All of that data, we are not even looking at that data. Nobody wants to look at autism without the lens of disability. So if you remove the lens of disability and start looking at it like a condition that you wish to improve, those are the things we don't know. And those are the things that matter, because at Sashakt Empowering Lives, that is what we do. We are experimenting with this condition every single day. So if there's a kid that can do, let us say, 5 lines of writing in 45 minutes, which we get to know when we work with the kid, then the focus becomes, now we need to get 7 lines in this much time. We need to get 10 lines in this much time. And then 10 lines in a little reduced time. And then some bigger words. Does the child make spelling mistakes in copying? Will the child understand, comprehend, and then build it up? First slice it down, make it small, teach it to the kid, and then slice by slice you build it up. That's something that this world really needs to know about autism, that when you have a structured approach, a structured, systematic way of going about it, it is not a miracle that at age 21, 22, a kid who's now an adult with autism, has zero behaviors, has absolutely good social skills, interactive skills, may turn around to be slightly socially odd, which is their identity. I don't know if we can get rid of that, or even if we would want to get rid of that. I don't think I would want my Jay to be any other way. No. He is who is, and I'm proud of him. Yeah. So, all of these having been said, that independently traveling, the other day he calls me and says, I will go to my grandparents' place for Holi, so I'm not coming to you. And don't worry, I have the money. I will book my tickets. Now, I don't see how is that any different from another individual who's 21, 22 and not on the spectrum. Many will say, oh, levels are different. I understand, I get that. But how much work is happening on improving the skill of the kid? If my Jay could do it at the age of 21, probably another one may not be able to get it by 21 if there are no comorbid conditions. Because comorbidities are like holes in your bucket. So you're filling the bucket and water's coming out. Yeah. So if you don't have comorbid conditions and simply it's only one thing, autism, then how much time is it going to take? Yeah. Will depend kid to kid, their individual level to level. But will each kid reach? I ask you a question. If 5 people start running, let us say from Delhi towards Mumbai, and choose not to stop. One of them is an athlete. One of them is slightly older. One of them has some injury on the leg. Yeah. But they have resolved that they will not stop. What are the chances that all 5 will reach Mumbai? Hell, it's 100%. The athlete will reach the first. Yeah. Provided everything else is fine. Yeah. It doesn't fall sick or something. Obviously, because the speed is faster. Yeah. That's something we don't know about autism. We feel, no, they're not going to be able to do it. That is because we don't have the right strategies. So, what we don't know about autism is how to further experiment and find out which strategy works. Lots of experimentation is required in this field. That's what is unknown. That's what is the tip of the iceberg is the problems that autism has, what we know. And the iceberg underneath the ocean is the ability of the kid, which needs to be brought forward. Yeah. So if you're a parent who wants to work on improving the cognitive ability of a child, I urge you, invite you, please come on in, join the autism revolution. that we have sort of created and further creating and igniting, where we are imparting autism specific parenting techniques dipped in pure science, technology, statistics, measurements. Whatever gets measured gets improved. So we have lives that happen every Tuesday, 7 to 7:30 p.m. YouTube and Instagram, and we have autism masterclass that happens either Thursdays or Fridays, 7 to 9:30 p.m. Don't miss out those. If you want to join in, links are given in the description. Keep believing in your child. Planet Earth needs more autism scientists than anything else. Yeah? On that note, may each kid win, yours and mine too. I'll see you next week.